Twitter thread by Beefeater, posted at August 26, 2024. Another daily roundup of Russian Telegram chatter. Read the disclaimer, please. Pro-government bots started talking about dictatorship and censorship in Europe after the arrest of Pavel Durov. Following the arrest of Telegram CEO Pavel Durov in France, pro-Kremlin bots left more than 1,000 comments on vKontakte under news items. Under the posts, the bots wrote about false values in the West, double standards, and censorship in the European Union, and praised freedom of speech in Russia and the lack of censorship against liberals. The bots also pointed out the hypocrisy of Western politicians and the press, who had previously condemned Moscow for trying to restrict access to Telegram. Russia may be left without migrants and face another price hike in all areas. Next week, a bill will be introduced to the State Duma that proposes the expulsion from the country of all foreigners with a criminal record, including those that have been expunged and spent, without the right to enter, and with the deprivation of temporary residence permits and residence permits. If the law is passed, this could trigger another jump in prices for goods and services due to an even more acute shortage of workers, experts predict. The expulsion of migrants since the beginning of 2024 has already triggered a rise in prices in literally all areas by an average of 10 to 15%. Desperate times require desperate measures. The recruitment of soldiers to fight in Ukraine does not match the kill rate of new Russian conscripts. A new idea to find more fodder for Putin's war, the Chamber of Commerce and Industry proposed sending couriers and taxi drivers to military factories. Vice President of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Russia Elena Dybova proposed banning the activities of couriers and taxi drivers, and sending the released workers to factories. The official explained her initiative by the fact that in the country, there is no one to fulfill the state defense order. Given the situation in which we find ourselves, we will have to make unpopular decisions. We have a huge number of delivery people. The situation is such that we will have to walk to the store. There are a huge number of taxi drivers now. Either we continue and then we will have no one to work in the factories, or we will start a mobilization scenario, she said. Here's a new underhand method for Putin and his regime to make money for the elite. In Sochi, the Volna Resort and Spa Hotel complex was taken away from its owners. It was transferred to the state. The Russian Prosecutor General's office, which filed the lawsuit, referred to the fact that the territory is part of a nature conservation zone, so the tourist facilities were built illegally. Moreover, violations were committed during privatization in the early 90s, and the defendants acquired the complex in the early 2000s. As a result, 28 owners, individuals and legal entities, lost their property, which was valued at 30 billion rubles. In addition, the former owners were obliged to compensate for the damage caused to the state and soil invertebrates due to the construction of capital facilities, in the amount of 14 billion rubles. The central bank has closed a loophole that allowed non-residents from unfriendly countries to sell their Russian securities through trust management accounts. The Bank of Russia has sent professional participants depositories in order to isolate securities that were purchased after March 1, 2022, RBC has learned. Disclaimer: the chat is unverified. I do not endorse the views expressed. Be wary of disinformation and DYOR. I monitor and translate Vatnik channels as a general mood check, so you don't have to. I self-fund my work and subscription costs. Please consider supporting my work on Patreon or buy me a coffee.